Your office is a $10 billion fortress of steel in the sub-Arctic, where sleep is brief, meals for 200 are planned to the minute, and the only way home is by helicopter. This is life inside the world's largest oil rig, the Berkut platform, built to withstand 6-story waves, minus 44 degrees Celsius cold, and earthquakes, yet entirely dependent on the people who keep its lights burning. But how do you build daily life and survive on a man-made island that never truly rests? Wake-up calls on Berkut don't come gently. At 5:30, alarms sound in every cabin, followed by the steady shuffle of boots in narrow hallways. The first wave of workers files into the mess, where cooks, already on their feet for hours, move in practiced rhythm, serving trays of eggs, porridge, and black tea. With over 200 people to feed, every meal is a logistical puzzle. 4,000 meals a week are planned, prepped, and stored in advance, the menu designed to last through weeks when supply ships can't break through the ice. By 6:15, the dining hall is crowded but quiet. Conversations are brief, eyes fixed on clocks. The next stop is muster, attendance checked, weather updates given, and the day's tasks assigned. In the control room, operators scan digital panels, reviewing alarms and system logs from the night shift. Down on the drill floor, crews gather for the toolbox talk, a ritual that covers everything from icy deck hazards to the day's drilling targets. Each person knows their role. The platform's routine, repeated day after day, is what keeps both morale and machinery running. When the handover ends, the new shift takes its place, and Berkut's city at sea comes fully awake, ready for another 12 hours of work. Off-shift hours on Berkut are a test of adaptation. After 12 hours on the job, workers trade steel-toed boots for gym shoes or sauna towels, using every tool available to recover from the grind. The gym stays open around the clock, offering treadmills, rowing machines, and free weights. Some crew members swear by a run before bed. Others rely on the sauna's dry heat to thaw out muscles still aching from the cold. With outside temperatures dropping as low as minus 44 degrees Celsius, even a short walk on the open deck is a bracing reminder of where you are. Noise never fully disappears. But the platform enforces strict quiet hours in living quarters. Earplugs and blackout curtains are standard issue. On the so-called quiet decks, conversation drops to a whisper, and phones are set to vibrate. Sleep is fragile, broken by alarms, machinery, or the distant thump of waves against concrete. But the routine is sacred. Some read, others call home during the narrow satellite window, everyone searching for a moment of normalcy before the next shift. Isolation is a fact of life here, but so is resilience. The rituals of rest are as carefully engineered as the rig itself, designed to help every person last through another day at sea. Beneath every daily routine on Berkut lies a foundation built to outlast the wildest forces nature can muster. The platform's mass exceeds 200,000 tons, anchored by a gravity-based structure so massive it required over 52,000 cubic meters of concrete and 27,000 tons of rebar. 4 concrete shafts, each as tall as a skyscraper, route Berkut to the seafloor, channeling the weight of the entire city above through dense, cold-resistant walls. Around the base, a thick ice skirt stands guard, engineered to absorb the crushing blows of drifting sea ice up to 2 meters thick and to break the back of any ridge that collides with it. Waves in the Sea of Okhotsk can climb to 18 meters, higher than a 6-story building, and slam the platform with the force of a freight train. Every surface exposed to the sea is designed to deflect, absorb, or dissipate that energy. Deep within the structure, seismic isolation bearings, giant steel and Teflon pendulums, allow the topside to sway and ride out earthquakes up to magnitude 9, a world first for offshore engineering. These systems are not just backup plans, they are essential for survival in a region where winter can freeze the sea solid and storms can last for weeks. As the HSE lead often reminds new arrivals, no amount of routine can protect you if the hardware fails. Every safety drill, every alarm, and every hand on deck is there, because the platform's defenses are only as strong as the discipline behind them. Alarms slice through the morning calm, and within seconds, the platform shifts into drill mode. Crew members snap to attention, grabbing high-visibility jackets and checking muster lists. In the control room, the HSE lead taps through the digital permit-to-work interface, locking down hazardous zones and confirming that every worksite is secure. The system tracks each permit in real time, flashing red if a single step is missed. On Berkut, nothing moves without digital sign-off. No hot work, no confined space entry, not even a simple valve check. Down a steel corridor, the medic leads a team through the evacuation checklist. Every head is counted, every lifeboat door tested. The platform's population is capped by the number of lifeboat seats, more than 300, so that every person can evacuate within minutes if disaster strikes. This rule is enforced by annual regulatory drills and surprise audits from safety inspectors. The platform's clinic stands ready day and night, with medevac protocols drilled until muscle memory takes over. In a real emergency, the medic's call triggers a chain reaction: stabilization in the clinic, a sprint to the helideck, and a helicopter wheels up to Shore Hospital, all targeted within a 60-minute window. There's no room for hesitation. Every second shaved off a drill is a second gained in survival. The difference between routine and chaos is measured by how quickly the crew can move from alarm to action. In a place where help is always hours away, readiness is the only safety net. Supply runs to Berkut are a race against the elements. In the Sea of Okhotsk, the window for safe vessel access narrows to a handful of days each winter month, sometimes just one or two, even with icebreaker escorts. For the captain steering those convoys, every trip is a high-stakes calculation. Ice charts, wind forecasts, and shifting flows must be weighed against the platform's dwindling stores. A single misjudgment can force a turnaround, leaving critical cargo stranded on shore. On board, the consequences are immediate. When a delayed hydraulic valve missed its slot on a February convoy, a maintenance crew spent 3 extra shifts waiting, unable to repair a key pump. Dozens of workers found themselves idled, their schedules thrown off as they waited for a part stuck behind the ice. Every supply run is triaged in advance: food, fuel, water, and spare parts prioritized by urgency. Icebreakers clear a path, but time is always in short supply. The chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and in winter, even a minor delay can ripple through the whole operation, putting production and safety on the line. Berkut began as a bold promise, a $10 billion gamble on steel and ice, launched by a rare alliance of oil giants and state partners. Between 2012 and 2014, hundreds of engineers and builders converged on the Sea of Okhotsk, assembling a platform meant to last decades. By January 2015, first oil flowed through pipelines stretching beneath the frozen sea, a feat that drew in specialists from across Russia, Japan, and beyond. For veteran crew, those early years still feel close. Months spent living in modules craned from Korean shipyards, learning to trust new systems, and sharing meals with colleagues whose languages sometimes needed hand gestures more than words. But the world outside Berkut keeps shifting. After 2022, the platform's ownership and supply lines changed almost overnight. Insurance costs for shipping tripled in some quarters. Spare parts once ordered from Houston or Yokohama now arrive, if at all, through new routes, sometimes late, sometimes not at all. For the crew, this means longer hitches and more improvisation. One mechanic recalls a winter when a delayed shipment forced him to keep a critical pump running with borrowed parts and luck. Industry analysts looking ahead see little room for comfort. Over the next 6 to 18 months, forecasts call for stable but cautious output, with every maintenance window and supply run weighed against risk. On Berkut, the legacy of past investment is measured not only in steel and concrete, but in the ability to adapt when the world grows less predictable. The Berkut platform stands 25 kilometers off Sakhalin, weighing over 200,000 tons, withstanding waves up to 18 meters and subarctic temperatures down to minus 44 degrees Celsius. Since producing first oil in January 2015, it has relied on a rotating crew of 200 to 240 people, working 12-hour shifts and consuming up to 5,000 meals per week. This city at sea was built by an international team at a cost of $10 to $12 billion. Its safety systems and lifeboat limits documented in industry records. But much remains classified, including details on recent supply chain disruptions and long-term equipment performance. While the platform's design and discipline have proven resilient, the future hinges on shifting logistics, sanctions, and the ability to maintain crew welfare in harsh conditions. For now, Berkut remains a rare example of how engineering and routine can turn one of Earth's toughest environments into a functioning community, its continued operation reflecting both human ingenuity and the ongoing challenges of offshore energy.